Video we are going to study how to use wrapper classes in Java. Okay, let's see what are actually wrapper classes. Wrapper classes in Java is used to convert primitive data type into objects so that Java can be 100% OOPS oriented. As you can see, primitives goes inside a wrapper class and an object type is produced. For clearly understanding this concept, let's directly go and see what are wrapper classes and their primitive types and their equivalent wrapper class. As you can see in the table, there are primitive types and their wrapper classes. Here int has a wrapper class integer, long has capital long, and boolean. But for char, there is a character wrapper class. As you know, class name of every Java class should be in capital. Now let's create an example. Like for here, I'm going to use a package wrapper, and then I'm going to create a class like test. This will be my main class. I hope you know how to create this. Then inside that class, we can have a main method. In this practical, we are going to convert primitive to object and object to primitive. So here you can see I have created a variable x is equals to 3, and now we are going to convert this x, int x, to an integer object x. For this, we are going to use a method using the integer class integer.valueOf. This method returns an integer instance representing a specified int value. As you know, it is a static method as it is called by using class name. And then I'm going to assign a return value like integer I is equals to. Now we can print the I value. The I will contain the 3 value, but it is an object because I is an integer that is holding an object whose value is 3. The value of method is used to convert from primitive to object type, and this concept is known as boxing. Please remember boxing, it's important. Here you can see the output integer 3 is printed. Value of method is used to convert primitive to object type. Now let's see how we can convert object to primitive. That can be termed as unboxing. Object to primitive type conversion. As we are converting through methods, so it's known as boxing and unboxing. I will also show you how to use AutoBoxing and unboxing, which is done automatically. So let me just show you how to convert object to primitive. I'm going to use the I integer and int value. This is a method for converting your integer to int. Okay, so I'm using this. Let me just again show you I dot int value here. Okay, it's auto completed. Let me just show you the description. Returns a value of its integer as int. If you are using integer, use int value. If you are using byte, so you can use byte value. Int, in place of int, we can use byte, anything. Byte, short, long. Just have to remove the int. It's easy. Then I'm going to print int and the value of y. Here we have converted both the types. See, the integer and I have converted primitive to object type and object to primitive type. Then I'm going to show you how AutoBoxing works. AutoBoxing and auto unboxing. Previously we have used methods for converting. As you can see, here, int value and value of. But in Java latest version, we don't have to do this. I'm going to take an example where I'm going to use byte. I'm going to directly convert this primitive to object by writing byte class capital byte class b2 is equals to directly passing byte b1 reference of byte. This is AutoBoxing. Here primitive is converted to object. And then the second practical, in the second practical I'm going to show you how auto unboxing is done. So here I'm going to take a float value capital F is equals to 4.5 F, that is a float value. Then I'm going to convert this capital like object 4.5 to a float, and I can directly give the reference event to a primitive data type float, and then we can print both the values. So let me just print the values. Here AutoBoxing in system.out.println and byte b2. Okay, sorry. Byte b2 for printing the byte value, which is an object, and then I'm going to use again print statement of Java for printing the float value as well. Okay. For auto unboxing. This whole video will contain how to convert primitive to object and object to primitive. Then I also will show you how to convert a primitive to string and string to primitive. Okay, let me just save everything here for running this. Run as Java application. Okay, let's save C. Not saved it, and then you can see both the output. It's for AutoBoxing. We don't have to use the methods. Here we have completed boxing and AutoBoxing. Primitive to object to primitive. Primitive to object and object to primitive. And then automatically. Okay, now let's see how to convert string to primitive after this. Let me remove all the code and just give a value. Like we can first use a primitive to string. Please do remember, we cannot convert string like alphabet A, B, C, D to a primitive. We have to use numbers only. So for example, in this video, I'm going to use a primitive value like number. So let me start by creating a variable int and then converting this into string using a method like integer dot. There is a inbuilt method, toString method, which is used for converting an integer value or primitive to string. Then return type as a string. S1, I'm going to print system.out.println S1 so that we can see S1 contains the value 100 here. Save it and let me just run this application. Run as Java application. Here you can see the output. Let me just show you 100. Now here S1 contains an 100 value. The second will be from string to primitive. Please note again, I'm just repeating, I'm converting only the number value. I'm not converting a string value. For example, if a name Alex is given, it cannot be converted to a primitive value. We can use only number. Here you can see I'm going to convert string to primitive. The integer.parse is a method that takes a string argument and converts into integer or int. S1 return type, I'm going to just get this value in a variable like int. As you know, I'm using integer. We have previously studied AutoBoxing. It is converting into directly integer into an int. I'm going to use x is equals to x has the value of string s1, and then I'm going to print the x value. X has the value of s1 and s1 has the values of I. In this example, I have shown you how to convert primitive to string and string to primitive. I'm just going to print that out as you can see in the video. So, wrapper classes are used for converting primitive to object and object to primitive. Let's just formally write everything, and lastly we are going to run the code. After running this code, you will get the output int to string and string to int. Here we have completed the conversion as well as wrapper classes. Thank you.